The deadliest test in the galaxy had never been beaten. 500 species failed. Every single one. Then humans walked in, and started laughing. The testing chamber had been silent for over 10 minutes. No screams. No alarms. No emergency protocols, just silence, and faint laughter. High Chancellor Ree of the Centauri Coalition leaned forward, his 4 eyes narrowing at the live feed. Run the data again, he ordered. His aide hesitated. Sir, we already have. Twice. The test, known simply as the Gauntlet, was an ancient evaluation used to judge whether a species was fit to join the Galactic Defense Concord. It wasn't war. It wasn't diplomacy. It was survival. A pure, unfiltered stress simulation designed by the long-extinct Prolex Empire. The Gauntlet was considered unbeatable. Over 500 sapient species had attempted it in the last 300 years, all had failed, every single one. Until now, the Death World species known as humans from Earth had been inside for 47 minutes. The simulation replicated a planetary-scale catastrophe, gravity fluctuations, atmospheric collapse, hostile fauna, failing technology, limited resources, no sleep, and relentless psychological pressure. Most species didn't last 30 minutes, the highly evolved Solari collapsed from sensory overload, the insectoid shock-tick turned on each other within 15 minutes. The aquatic Mirans panicked and suffocated, but the humans made it fun. The audio feed crackled. All right, Jenkins, one human shouted, half laughing. You take the acid-spitting lizard thing on the left. I'll wrestle the gravity inverter. Copy that. Hey Ramirez, another voice chimed in. Bet you can't outrun the plasma flood in flip-flops. Watch me. Chancellor Ree's mandibles twitched. This must be an error, he said. Were the difficulty settings properly calibrated? The AI facilitator responded in a sterile tone, difficulty set to 112% of standard lethal configuration. Anomaly detected. Human participants have exceeded expected psychological tolerance thresholds by 893%. Explain. Human laughter appears to be triggered by high-stress survival events. Group cohesion increases under threat. Fatigue and trauma indicators present, but counteracted by adaptive behaviors classified as gallows humor and competitive stubbornness. Ree stared at the screen. One human had lost an arm during a kinetic impact simulation. He tied it off with a belt, screamed once, then began shouting instructions while limping toward a detonator panel. Another, soaked in synthetic blood and half-blind, was singing something called Highway to Hell while firing a plasma rifle in circles. The AI continued. Previous subjects collapsed after Phase 3. Human subjects requested hard mode after Phase 4. The chamber murmured. They insisted, the AI added. Threatened to dismantle the control panel and modify the simulation themselves if denied. In Phase 5, the final phase, the environment reached peak instability, oxygen dropouts, rogue AI threats. Swarm-level attacks. Every species had failed here. The humans built a trap. They turned the collapsing structure into a kill zone. One acted as bait, the others used explosive debris to create a firewall, then they escaped through a ventilation shaft lined with microblades and acidic mist. None of them screamed. They laughed. When the chamber doors finally opened, 5 humans stumbled out. Burned, bloodied, grinning. One tossed aside a cracked helmet. That was sick, he said. Is there a leaderboard or what? An Antari diplomat fainted. The lead human, Lieutenant Sarah Hodges of the Terran Forces, offered a loose salute requesting evaluation report, she said. And maybe a snack. Solid simulation. Respect. You're not upset? Asked a trembling UNE ambassador. Hodges blinked. Upset? Nah. That was basically week 3 of Marine boot camp with extra bells and whistles. You nearly died, the ambassador whispered. That's why it was fun. Chancellor Ree looked ill. We made that test impossible, he muttered. It was never meant to be passed. Then you shouldn't have invited humans, someone whispered from the council benches. Later, during a secure debriefing, a counselor finally asked the humans a direct question. Why didn't you give up like the others? Hodges leaned forward, fingers steepled, eyes tired but calm. Because giving up doesn't stop the threat. Because Earth is a death world. Our ancestors survived a planet where everything tried to kill them. weather, animals, each other. She stood slowly. That doesn't make us fearless. It makes us stubborn. We laugh in the face of fear because fear doesn't disappear. But we adapt. Silence filled the room, then a soft voice from a Nari elder spoke. I believe humanity's status should be reconsidered, not as candidates, but as instructors. Everyone nodded, except the humans. They just laughed.